Hello, everybody. It is Yami Fujita, and once again, we are back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. We ended on a very huge cliffhanger last night, as I love to do. I love ending on these huge cliffhangers. After picking the correct option in that class trial, it was somehow determined that Makoto was the killer, and he was put on the belt to be executed, but that did not happen. He was saved by someone who we thought was gone. He was saved by Alter Ego, and instead, moved, he sent down a kind of like a trap door into a garbage chute. So, we are now locked in this trash room. The door that we see is locked, so there's no getting out of it. We haven't seen a way out of it. But just when we think we're all alone, Kyoko shows up. And she absolutely drops a bombshell on us that this entire time she knew the identity of the Mastermind. The identity. The Mastermind is her father. So, you can see the text right there, because he's my father. That's exactly where we left off last night. And I already know that Makoto is gonna react with a what or a ha or something like that. So, let's go ahead and see his reaction 24 hours or so later. Yep, there it is. What?
つまり
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
私は
I'll find a way.
私は
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
必ず
No matter the cost.
あのさ
Kyoko, what's going on? I don't remember exactly how far back this was, but this might have been before the 4th or 3rd class trial.
私は
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That does make sense.
だけど
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
それは
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
そうね
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the 2nd floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
ええ
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mikuru's profile and that key. Mikuru's profile and that key. Now, I mentioned this before. There's a stairwell on the 1st floor that is still locked. I gotta move over some more. To this moment, we have still not seen what those stairs lead to. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight, from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues. So I went to check.
そう
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
だけど
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is,
私は
the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. No, what do you mean?
それは
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. Yeah, 1 second. And really ominous. Okay, do I still need to talk to her some more, or...
だけど
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't
で
it?
も
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means... everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
とにかく
And what I can say for sure is that the Mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
ええ
I stole that key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
そう
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The Mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
そうよ
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, I knew it was gonna come back around. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion. And I said in the last stream that that exact regulation was gonna come back around at some point. The Mastermind is adamant about following the rules. And with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the Mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
ね
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Well, yeah, because we were attacked. I could have become the victim?
え
You know what I'm talking about, right? When I woke up from my fever nightmare and she was just standing over me. Do you mean during the night?
え私は
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this,
とにかく
which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
そう
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
だけど
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them. But that led to... Whoever the master assailant was, they ended up dead.
そう
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the Mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Nukudo is also the Mastermind, right?
ええ
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. Okay, so no, I misspoke earlier. We found out the identity of the headmaster, not the Mastermind. The headmaster is her father, not the Mastermind. I realized that once I'm live, I can't change the title of my stream. And I named it the Mastermind's Identity. It'll be named correctly for the YouTube video, unless we do actually find out the Mastermind's identity in this stream. But I don't know if we will, because I think that won't be revealed until the next class trial. Wait, but does that create another contradiction? Doesn't that create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you, because they couldn't interfere, right?
そう
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Nukudo. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
つまり
It means that the Mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
苗木くん
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. Okay, well, I guess we can leave the title then. The identity of the other Ultimate Despair. The other Ultimate Despair? There's no doubt that Mukudo was the Ultimate Despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the Ultimate Despair is just one person. It's not?
ええ
If you think about it, the Ultimate Despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
そうよ
what happened a year ago. I don't know why I keep yawning. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, listen, I don't... As big of a tragedy as this incident was, I would not call it the most tragic in human history. There's been way worse. They're the Ultimate Despair.
どうやら
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. And there,
ええ
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the Ultimate Despair. Hang on one second, I'm gonna put some lotion on my hands. Alright. And that is our real enemy. And that's the end of chapter 5. We still got 6 of us left. Okay. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
とにかく
right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Alright, well then can I... Okay, it's locked, but we have a way to open the door. We have a way to open the door. Rocket in a tank. Think too much about what I'm seeing down here. We have a way to open this door. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room? Oh yeah, good thinking.
ええ
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of the ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. Well, make sure you don't lose it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
そうよ
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey, Kyoko. We can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
そうね
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Yes! It opened!
ええ
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. You're finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. A long name for a chapter. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel, extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder heading up, or leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Just completely upskirting Kyoko. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. Well, don't fall. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
ね
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
それは
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
違うわ
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
そう
because we take pride in it. Pride.
ええ
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. But conscious effort?
そうね
That's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. And pride. So that explains... Before I came here... When I was looking up info about the school online, they really needed to do a better job of proofreading this game. I never saw anything about her. This is the issue about doing visual novels. Like, they were probably just dreading the idea of having to go through so much dialogue, so much typing. But I mean, no matter what, all games that use subtitles do that anyway. And yet there's plenty of games with much better proofreading jobs than this game. Alright, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family. So that's why she was anonymous.
でも
In her specialty, that is. And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh?
私は
In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true kitty detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
え
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
違うわ
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
だけど
There's something I want to say to him, though. What?
私は
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? We'll find out soon enough, don't say it now.
それは
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently, he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
だけど
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
そう
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she had said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative. And more emotional.
私は
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
だけど
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
それは
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
でも
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day.
私は
His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
そう
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that,
違うわ
our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
ね
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Yes. No matter how you feel about somebody, yes. Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul? I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. Hang on. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. They've been climbing for like a half hour or an hour. Looks like this is it. And of course there's a metal door there.
ええ
And probably locked. On the other side of this door, Host Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
そうよ
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm finally certain that's where we came from. I'm certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. No, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. At least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
ね
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
じゃあ
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
つまり
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. But wait, that's...
でも
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is gonna happen isn't.
だって
Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The Mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
それが
The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukudo's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down. I feel like I have the idea, because I'm still holding on And to what Byakuya said in yesterday's stream. Oh, when did we decide that the Ultimate Despair title belonged to the Mastermind? I mean, I guess we just answered that in this stream where they talked about there being a group of people responsible for setting all this up, but anyway, there was. If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... No, super uneasy about this. We don't really have a choice, do we?
Eh.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
行きましょうか
Let's get going. Alright, let's head to the gym. Let's head on inside. Kyoko? I don't mind so much. But Makoto is supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
何
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again. And this time, I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
でも
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
もし
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
は
Huh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
だって
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
つまり
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
でも
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
そう
And in response to that unexpected development,
そうよ
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No more than that. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. No answer.
だけど
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your previous execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it.
そうなんでしょ
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mikuro. You did. No answer.
いいわね
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. Like, and on one end, I'm just like, she is getting him right now, but on the other hand, I'm waiting for him to be like, you couldn't be more wrong. Anyway, if the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Yeah
And you can prove this, right?
そう
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
別にいいじゃない。
I don't have any right now. But with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
そうよ。
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
だって
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
でも
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts. And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
え
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
えね
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
えそうよ。
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
いいわね。
Despair can never kill hope.
ね
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
そうするべきよ。
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
そう
To do Mukudo's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
そこで最後の勝負をしましょう。
It's time for
希望
one
と
last
絶望を
showdown.
かけた最後の勝負よ。
Yeah, I didn't have to read that one. Alright. So it looks like the last class trial is, of course... Well, no, not of course. I didn't think this would happen. The last class trial is a redo of the previous one because we all know that's not how class trials are supposed to work.
ね
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukudo's killer, of the Mastermind themselves. But what reason would the Mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without any word, without another word. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Berry? Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
つまり
Does that mean you accept? If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
そうね
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukudo's death, and solve the mysteries of the school, then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
いいわね。
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all has turned out.
ね
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Before we just jump to the class trial, is there going to be another, like, final, full-fledged investigation, or are we just jumping straight into the trial? Do you remember the rule? Hang on. When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
どうかしたクマ
I remember that for sure. So what?
ね
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mikudo is no exception to that. Huh? Mikudo's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mikudo... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants. All of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
ね
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden?
ププ怒ってるんだ
I'm done talking! I got nothing left to say to you! So get lost, would you? Though why so mad? Seems emotionally unstable.
ほら
Leave me alone! Get out of here! Okay, I'm going. You really gonna let me go?
ふい
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
ププププププ
ね
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay.
ププププ
That laugh is so annoying. Alright. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could barely believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. And overall, things turned out way better than expected. And once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. And Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
だけど
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the Mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
それは
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
だって
It's all because of that one moment that the Mastermind let their guard down, like I said. So when was it when the Mastermind let their guard down?
それは
I wasn't there to hear it myself. But do you remember what the Mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
ね
And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
そうよ
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off,
だけど
and yet somehow the Mastermind was able to do it.
つまり
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
それは
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
どうやら
The Mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
つまり
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, and show that off to the world. But why?
そう
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
ね
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
そうよ
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. But what? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
そうね
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
苗木くん
I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
つまり
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has had to be more particular than it is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game but a one-sided slaughter.
少なくとも
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
そうよ
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me. A very disturbing picture of Junko. So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. And I definitely do need to watch the show after I play this game. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work. Yeah, hang on a second, guys, hold on. hang on a second, guys. Alright, anyway.
そうね。
Yes, thanks to you. Even that didn't work, yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
ええ。
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
つまり、
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? You were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge.
だけど、
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
違うわ。
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. And how pathetic.
だけど、
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. Somehow my voice is already going. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
そう。
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
ね
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True. But now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
え。でも、
Is that really possible? Huh?
とにかく、
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
行きましょうか。
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? No, hang on a second. No, what do you mean by is that really possible? No, wait, what is, where? Okay, to the dorms. Fix the audio first. Okay, but who are we looking for, though? I don't think he's here. Okay. So he's not in his room. She's dead. Dead. Is she in her room?
ね
So nobody's in their room then.
えね
Nobody's in their room. So where is everybody at then? Maybe the dining hall? And suddenly we were greeted with... Oh my gosh. I have no idea what you're saying right now. I mean, you again? What are you saying? Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached his limit. Jeez, what the heck?
でも
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief.
苗木だよね。
Oh, and there's everybody else.
みんな、やっぱり苗木だ。どの角度から見ても苗木だよ。
あら生きてたのね
まったくゴキブリ並みのしぶとさだな。
念のために聞いとくけど幽霊じゃねえよな。
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
なんだ
Wait, what's that smell?
なんだこりゃ。
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! And in a flash, my tears dried up. Alright. I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me neither. You do realize why it is you escaped execution. Well, do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
そうだ
Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I imagine it was a learning experience for you.
おう。
Makoto, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
だべ。
Did you get to talk to her? Who?
うん。
Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. Who the heck is Miss Cleo? You stink. Are you rotten?
そうに決ま
Rotten.
ってるわ。
Physically, mentally, everywhere you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. Smell is so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. And of course, she's turned on by that. I win. She seems happy for some reason. So what have you guys been doing while I was gone?
うん。
Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And?
隠し
No dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there weren't any new areas. Then where can we go to find new clues?
苗木くん
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
なんだ
Explain? Explain what?
うん。
But is it okay that you're here? What if the Mastermind catches you?
そうね
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
つまり
We're going to redo Mukudo's trial. What? Seriously?
そうだってな。
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you,
違うわ
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course it's not me or any of you.
は
Then who is it?
なるほどな。
What she's saying is it was all the work of the Mastermind.
え
What? You're saying the Mastermind killed Mukudo?
あそうよ
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived to by the Mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
だけど
But this decision meant that he would be the one to die.
なんだと。
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy and just, you know.
でも
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The Mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the Mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
そう
Very observant of you.
当然だ。
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said now it's the Mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
ひでえぞ。
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all of this, what do we do now?
それってさ
It's about who killed Mukudo, right? So our job is to expose the Mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery?
でも
But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
とにかく
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone?
バカなのよ
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
とにかく
Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. Oops.
面
In
白
other
い。
words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. Right.
でも
But figuring out who the Mastermind is, and how they killed Mukudo, and all the school's mysteries, it's a pretty tall freaking order. Maybe, but this time the trial's different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
私は
I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Well, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries. Gotta plug in my phone. That's what I thought too. At first. Until Monokuma gave us the little hint of his. Just gonna save again. Hint? Very polarizing approach, I know, but enough puns. Here's the hint. So it is already. The killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in hosting since this killing game began are those 16 students.
なるほどな。
Monokuma said that, didn't he? Or did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. But why?
つまり
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Well, maybe they did. Maybe Monokuma was just lying. Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
つまりだ。
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who've been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. And in Mukuro, add in Mukuro, and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
そう。
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us. Though what if somebody who we thought was dead is not dead? You know, again, very unlikely, but I'm thinking about all possibilities at this point. You can't be serious. But wait, we can't say for sure that that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we cannot ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. I'm seriously trying to remember. So when did we throw the term ultimate despair around to the whole group? I know Byakuya has mentioned it and now Toko's mentioning it. And I could have sworn the only people using that word were Kyoko and me. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
それは
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
でも
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking out that many times.
そうじゃねえのか
Then maybe Monokuma was an autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Yeah, guys, it's nighttime.
校内放送です。お前らすでにご承知かと思いますが、これからこの殺し合い学園生活は真の怪盗編へと突入します。そこで公平を期すために学園内の部屋のロックはすべて解除しちゃいます。
Oh, okay. Perfect.
式 に調べてちょうだいな。思う存分謎を解いてちょうだいな。うっぷぷ。では学級裁判でお会いしましょう。
ふーん。
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
まあいいだろう。
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. Tomorrow. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
戸上の
At
名に
this
かけ
point,
て
I can't rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I'm sorry, at this point I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
じゃあな。
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master? He didn't take me with him.
おいおい
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you were like coffee with cream or without the cream. Or coffee. What are you talking about? It's totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko charged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. You're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Eh.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
ダメ
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
もっと
Wait, how come?
どうだってな
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the Mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hina left the dining hall.
隠し
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina?
う
I guess I'll do the same thing.
ーん。でも
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
だって
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto, it's really nice of you to say.
でも
But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
よし
So I figured at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Alright, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed off the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
ええ
Indeed. Well, I thought she said she was going by herself. So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
だけど
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
それは
That goes for all of us. Think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
じゃあ
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
そう
Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. So that includes the staircase on the first floor, correct? We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
苗木くん
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone. Leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the Mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the Mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the Mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. Alright, I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mikado Kisaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. Where should I start my investigation to find out? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the bio lab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. And places to check. Alright, so we got the headmaster's room on the 4th floor, the biolab on the 5th floor, the Monokuma door, and the data center also on the 4th floor, and the 2nd floor, the dormitory area. Not exactly several, but yeah. Oh well, the first thing I'm gonna check is that staircase. It's open. I think that's the warehouse, right? Yeah, this is the warehouse. Nothing in here. Alright, well, this staircase is now available. The gate's open. We can finally check out the 2nd floor of the dorms. So that's where this leads. Which means I have to do it. This is the 2nd floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield. Like a bomb blew up here or something. Look at that, there's pieces of the ceiling and the walls are down. There's blood on the floor. I can't look at it. It's like the apocalypse happened in here. Oh geez, that door. What is this drawing? What's behind this door? This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Host Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Metal sheet covering the lockers. There's a metal plate mounted to the locker. There's no way to get it open. I wonder if I can open this locker. No, locked. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the 2nd floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... No luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it. Which means none of us can do it. I can't imagine any way to get this locker open. I'm not even gonna bother trying. Metal plate landed onto the locker. really want to know what's inside, but there's no way. Metal plate mounted to the lockers. No way to open them. Alright, is that it for this room? I have to keep on telling myself that nothing bad will happen while I'm walking down here. Alright, what's behind this door? This is like a... Yeah, this is not a... Is this the secret room? The hidden room? This feels like somebody's apartment. It's more of adult atmosphere.
そう
It's the headmaster's private room. Yup. This is the headmaster's private room. Kyoko, when did you get here? Kyoko!
ええ
I've been through this room several times already. But I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Oh, regret. There's a PC in the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
どうやら
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair.
だけど
There's not much though. Nothing we can do already. Nothing that we don't already know.
つまり
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people, whose driving force comes from despair.
でも
And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete kitty failure. But any information about the Mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on.
そう
I see. It's a good outlook to have. The ultimate despair has been added to the truth bullets. Okay. Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. We can't look in this... Ah, well then we should probably just leave then, right? Not done in here quite yet. A leather chair. Can't imagine a student using something like this. Must have been the headmaster's. And they're saying leave her alone. Is this a secret room? Yeah, that is a strange gap. It's a strange gap in the wall. Is this some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something?
それは
There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. That's a secret door. A breeze.
ええ
There's likely an open space in the other side of this wall. My voice is going. An open space? Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
ええ
A very easy trick, yes. So easy I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open right up.
でも
But I don't have a clue what that password might be. Alright, hang on. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right, that's not nearly enough to go on.
そうね
I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait. There might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
Eh?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password, knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it? Just to be sure?
さあ
Not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay.
どうやらだけど
Alright, so go back on the computer. You know, I'm glad I thought about trying Kyoko's name. But if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
ね
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself and turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling. And as I finished typing it in, it worked. Oh, what? That did it! Kyoko, it worked!
どうして
Why? Kyoko? You know very well why she's upset about that working. Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. I should have came here oh gee, look at that picture. Hey, Kyoko? I may as well not even have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered in such joy. That's what made it so unusual. It's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay,
苗木君
be careful, Makoto. Why, you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprisingly, probably. Huh?
どうやら
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in here?
とにかく
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slightly, I lifted it up. The light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. Just completely not listening to it. What was in that box? But this dude a bone collector? It was bones. Human bones. Though what on earth are those doing in a gift box? It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
なるほどね
Just as I thought. What? This dude is a freaking... a murderer. Like that, he's just collecting the bones of... Alright, just as you thought. How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there, human bones.
違うわ
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's his body? That's pretty much the same thing, a dead guy in a box. My father. Huh? What about him?
そう
What you found in the box. Those bones, that body, that's my father. Or at least, what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for. Hold on. How do you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
それは
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in this school right now. The killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in One's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. The alter ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school. But the only ones who were alive at the start of this killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
つまり
that most likely my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. No, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. Which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties. But was that all there was to it? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true kitty detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. Hidden room present. Okay. This picture... Hang on. This picture. It's all faded. Must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko.
本当に
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past. And yet... to find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It was a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time. He must have really cared about her.
どうして
But why? But what? I wanted to face him and tell him myself. To cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time, he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really wanted to check it out, but... I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
ね
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. You
That's
sure?
it.
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay. And if you don't mind... Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... Is this? This is a e-handbook, right? It has a label on it that says, in case of emergency. I found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
つまり
A handbook with no limitations, given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably right.
どうやら
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? Huh? But Kyoko,
私は
I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then, I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay?
ね
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask you a favor? A favor? What is it?
それは
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this. And I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but
ね
could you leave? Huh?
そう
Just for a little while. I just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
ちょっ
You need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you're gonna say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be set up with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened. What I went through.
私は
That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. I'm sorry.
とにかく
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. I'll see you later. Alright, well, we will continue on then. Is she really okay? It must have been a complex shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the Mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster. Killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hope's Peak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out, and according to the files, the headmaster's man in his late 30s. Seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. We were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity is... It's still seeming like the headmaster is one of us. Is it one of our last 6 people remaining, or is it somebody who we thought was dead? Sakura was spying for the mastermind. She's not the mastermind. "15 of us met in the main hall. Add Mukuro to this mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead." And even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. And there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. Just walking through these halls like this. This door is open. Can't go inside. Alright, well now we're back on this. We're checking the headmaster's room last. Bio lab. So we crossed up the 2nd floor. So the 4th floor is being done last. So up next we'll do the bio lab. Alright. Alright, Biolab. Man, it's blue in here. Well, here I am in the Biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? Yeah, everything looks frozen. By far the smallest out of all the other labs. You have here chemistry and physics. Why is it so cold in here? The first thing I need to figure out. This stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of those things lately. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. And on the left side, there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side... That's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Oh, jeez. In a biolab? Does that mean this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. There's some kind of booklet here. Looks like an instruction manual. You can really alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. It's exactly as he thought. Yeah, a cadaver is another word for a corpse. So, in addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver, and the blue light will let you know that the automated system has been activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and an alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is stainless steel, and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge. Well, all these lights are blue. This is one of those fridges they put dead bodies in. I've seen them on crime shows and stuff. Does that mean everyone here, everyone who's died is their own this little room? Looking around, I think I get it. Seems clear to me now. It was a makeshift morgue. And about those lights by each slot. It looks like it's set up so that when the slot is occupied, the blue light comes on. Which would mean inside each slot lit up in blue. Another one of the victims is... I can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died. And that's defeat the Mastermind. And to do that, I have to continue my investigation. I don't have any other option. Well, the last stop is the 4th floor. Wait, there are people... Toko was in the dojo. Oh, Toko. So this is where you were.
何の用よ。
Oops. Am I so disgusting you want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought maybe you found a clue. Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything, not one single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, I would have to have something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give it back, give me back my precious time! Calm down, Toko.
何よ。
Don't tell me to calm down. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? My voice is going through it. When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless, good for nothing. Nobody's gonna say that. Master will. I'm not sure I can disagree with that. I don't want that. I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm just gonna get going. Alright, back to the 4th floor. I'll look in here first. And after I've checked all the rooms, I'll stop. Oh, Hina's here.
唾液だ。
Ah, Makoto, are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door. So I figured, if all the doors in the school had been unlocked, that one should be open too, right?
でも。
Although, I couldn't bring myself to open it,
だって。
because it might explode, right? And that really suck. So, you open it. Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Alright, so I guess I'll open it. Wait! Let me take cover first, I don't want to get exploded. Nina raced over to a nearby desk and hit underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. This was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was... Oh, whoa, this place is totally sci-fi! Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I mean, every part of this school leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but... This place is like #1 gross. It's in a whole different league of creepy. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Nahifumi probably freak out if he saw it. Man, I was reading that wrong. Nahifumi probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
よし。
Let's start poking out at... or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just... or whatever, something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Did you hear that? I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one. The button that says Data Center. So is this how people control Monokuma? Data Center. I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. Okay. And just like Hina said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the Data Center, it's right next door. The room we were just in. That's where the strange noise came from. I'd probably go check it. I probably better go check it out. Yes, please. I'm kind of scared of my mind right now. So I'll just cheer you on from in here. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Is that Monokuma? He's not saying anything. Hey!
Oh.
Give me all your donuts! What the... What? Is that you, Hina? What? Oh man, busted, how did you know? Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? And so the theory was absolutely correct about somebody piloting Monokuma. You don't even know what you're controlling? Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here. Guess what I found? A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it. Aw, man. Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel is... absolutely where you pilot him at. It's a bunch of computers all lined up. They look like high-performance PCs that look like the ancient laptop Chico's installed on. We've looked at this already. Anyway, I guess that settles it. Okay. Whoa, hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now, it was Monokuma. Monokuma? What? For real? Yup. It looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the Mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. They were definitely in here. The Mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words, maybe the Mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. That theory is correct. And Kyoko's theory was right. But if the Mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true, then there's no way it's any of the students. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. 16. The only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game started are those 16 students. That has to be a lie. It can't be one of the 16 students. There's no way. What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Oh, no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. What about you? Is everything okay? Well, it's just... This is where the Mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? I can't say it isn't possible. But I really hope it's not true. So, like, you wanna leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. You wanna get going? Yeah. What was that noise? As soon as the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that noise? The door! It just locked on its own! But what? My hand shot to grab the doorknob. It's locked! Why? Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma? Hey, no fair, you can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like. It's for your benefit. Because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. In that room, as you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So right now, you're being operated by someone in that room? Correct, Mundo? But that doesn't make any sense! We were just in there and we didn't see anyone! Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch? No way! The hatch on the floor! Too bad, that was your one big chance and you blew it. Of course, that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room's officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. He's gone, but was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? I'm starting to get another theory. Either yes, it can't be Mukudo because Mukudo is dead. Unless that person that got killed is not Mukudo. Because that would make things more confusing. But let's say there was a student who we thought was dead but is actually alive, hid underneath that hatch and is now in there. That's the mastermind. That could be one theory. But I have another theory. I really think that we are in for a major plot twist. And I really hope that this theory is dead wrong. Oh, what if Chihiro is the mastermind? The entire time? Oh, what if Alter Ego is actually the mastermind? No, we'll have to keep playing and find out. But I think that that's dead wrong. In fact, you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure. Then when I said we should leave, well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault. Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. So you're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Okay, I'm gonna go run around and tell everyone what we found. Here. Nice. You got me all motivated again. Okay, I'm out. See ya. Hina took off at full sprint. And I have to do what I came to do. I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Alright, well, Headmaster's room is the last room left. That's the music room. There's only one room left to check. We've been in here already, right? Yeah, we've been in here. Well, last but not least, Headmaster's room. Jeez. You'd think he's the president. Byakuya's in here. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this is by This will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. No, Byakuya. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class 78 student registry? That's a student roster, but okay. It contains profiles for all of us, and Mukuro.
つまり
Apparently, Class 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room, it also said that number, right? It also mentioned Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers,
つまりだ
there could be no doubt. Mukuro was a student here at Hope Peak Academy just like the rest of us. Mukuro Kusaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled. She must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Mukuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
つまり
In other words, when it comes to this profile, there was more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read it, can't you? Seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Aoi Asahina. That's next to this. Mukuro. So that's the picture of her. Mukuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background, an entity floats. Close, but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. Bam! It said it right there. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir, when she entered Host Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. Remember that one. Remember that line. The fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair. I don't think there could be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean Mukuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why? Why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They wouldn't have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the Mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was.
なんだ
What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
まあい
You
い
seem
だ
to be
ろ
lost in thought. But I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within the file that you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? Yeah, I saw that. A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before. A girl who seems to be included as part of our Class 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5'7", 97. You gotta do something about that, and even list her vitals. 31, 22, 32. How are you 5'7" and under 100 pounds? You gotta do something about that. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body? You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse, and maybe you'll think, could that mean? Wait, is he trying to say there's a chance the body isn't actually Mukuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but impossible. But it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
決まりだ。
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. One last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh?
つまりだ。
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch. But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep it in mind, thanks. Alright, we saw this. It's a bunch of paper on the floor, a bunch of documents scattered all over the floor. Makes me feel anxious somehow. There are trophies and even a shield in the display case. Nope, same thing. Alright. I'm gonna go to the garden. Fix this audio. So we can once again look at that corpse. Oh, we're on the 4th floor. I knew it. Out in my head, I was like, watch the body be gone. Huh? It's gone. Mukuro's body is not it's not here? In my head, I was like, watch the body be missing. Unbelievable, guys. But that'll be it for today's stream. I'll be back to this on Friday. Like I said, we are finishing this game this week. But Mukudo's body is missing now. That is not good. Another cliffhanger to end on. My voice is gonna take some rest. Thank you guys for staying tuned throughout this entire franchise, or throughout this entire gameplay. And I will see you all on Friday for the next episode. Have a good night, everybody.